I wanted to go through some of the particularities of the vial mask and then get into some gameplay with your blinder jammer combo. Okay, we're down here at the shooting range, and we're going to show you what this looks like, what your damage looks like with different weapon types. Now, if you look at the custom card here, it's got just the skill tier damage. Look at my Scorpio, it's damage to armor, and you look at my assault rifle, and it is damage to targets out of cover. And that is why that target was taking different damage. It's a red bar target, so it's only susceptible to damage out of cover. Now, to make a point, we're going to show you what happens with Fox's Prayer. So here I've just got rifle damage. The two-piece Golan was giving me armor regen. And on this one, the only difference is the damage to target out of cover. Take a look at that number. You've got 78,000, 86,000. And so we're going to throw the blinder out, and he is ticking for 84,000. When I take out my assault rifle, it's 92,500. And the only difference is Fox's Prayer. Damage to targets out of cover. You know, why to fix the vial mask tick? Yeah, it just is. Okay, we're going to. I'm using Perfectly Wicked right now because I'm going solo. What you should be using in group play is Galvanize, because Galvanize is going to give you 40% bonus armor to targets that are sharp or blinded or ensnared. But it doesn't work with your blinder. You can see right there with the shotgun, it gave me bonus armor. And here with the blinder, nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you're in a raid or if you're responsible for CC, you'd be using the shock trap, and typically you'd be using, I believe it's empathetic resolve or something like that. To also generate some damage. In this case, your vial mask is going to generate all the damage you need, and take a look at that. Shock trap, Galvanize gives you bonus armor. Yeah, switching back to the jammer pulse. And now we're going to go through what perpetuation looks like. So remember the numbers down there, we're in the 70s. '86. Okay, I'm going to hit him in the head. That little orange thing is your perpetuation, and we're up to 110, so just as advertised, plus 50% status damage.
Incoming backup request.
Okay, now we're going to talk about different chest options. I am running Unbreakable at the moment, and right now I've got 23 seconds for the cooldown. You could run Tag Team, which reduces the cooldown by 6 seconds, but you really don't need to, because take a look at this. Your blind effect is, I believe, about 14 seconds, so it's going, and look at that, right on the cooldown. Yeah, see, I've got Tag Team for another build of mine where it does make a difference. On this particular build, doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. Just protect yourself. You're pretty much very, very squishy. Like I said, Tag Team, it reduces your cooldowns by 6. It's got its own internal cooldown. Here's Explosive Delivery, not Empathetic Resolve. That's what you would use in a raid if you're responsible for a specific area and use your shock trap. In a group, you should use Overwatch if you guys aren't too squishy, or if you have a healer, because it's going to give you that plus 12% weapon and skill damage. Not just you, but the whole raid. Here I've got 0 regeneration on, and my Unbreakable ticked off. And I'm going to show you a little bit about why I've got preservation on my pistol. Yeah, it's really a better combination if you use preservation in the mop, because the mop gives you plus 10% armor on kill. But just as kind of a last resort, you can run preservation on your pistol. Just kind of whip it out while you're blinding and jamming stuff, and once they go down over 5 seconds, you get something like 10% of your armor back. Not really a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. You can also run perpetuation on your pistol too. That's fine, but you've got perpetuation on your assault rifle, or if you're using everlasting gaze on your rifle. So we're going to take some more guys out. Eventually just keep your pistol out, and you're doing a little bit less damage because it's a +1 skill tier versus plus 10% damage to armor. But your main job is to blind people and to keep the rest of your party from taking damage using your jammer pulse to knock out robotics. So, there you go. And I think now we're going to talk about, yeah, you can go with everlasting gaze. We're going to do a little gameplay here. This is a very easy set to build. It's 3-piece China, 2-piece Golan. 3-piece China is going to be for explosive deliveries, skill haste, and status effects. That all affects your concussion grenade. Skill haste doesn't. Your 2-piece Golan is going to give you some armor regen. You could use 1 Golan for the status effects and 1 Bellstone for the armor regen. There's no guarantee in a group that you are going to go ahead and have a healer. So keep yourself topped off as best you can. That 1% armor regen, and I think I've got another blue piece somewhere that's going to give me another 5,000, so for a total of 15K. Doesn't sound like a lot per second, but over a minute it will heal you. It'll heal you all the way back up, which is really kind of, as a yellow build, all you need. Again, unbreakable plus some armor regen in a group will keep you alive. And you can see I just keep going for the headshots, not doing a whole lot of damage with my gun, but hey, it's something. And at the end, you're going to see that actually my gun did half the damage. Yeah, 72,000. Not that great. And typically in a group, you'd be running demolitionist instead of tech. I'm running tech right now. For the extra skill tier, I've been trying to get Golan or Bellstone pieces with both skill haste and status effects, and 400 shade techs levels later, I haven't gotten a single piece like that. It's just absolutely brutal. So the extra skill tier is going to help you get your range up on your jammer pulse. Yeah, every skill tier is going to, above where I am, is going to give you 2 meters, and so that's okay. But in reality, you would in a group run demolitionist, because what it gives your group is plus 5% damage out of cover to enemies, and especially on legendary, you can absorb 1 explosion per minute, which is pretty important, and you get plus 15% explosive damage. So you're going to be doing a little bit more damage with your vial mask, and but primarily you're going to be able to survive the grenadier. Yeah, and you can see kind of one of the problems of the blinder is that you can't see everyone, and if you can't see everyone, you can't hit everybody with it. The other problem we have is is range. You can see the guy way at the end is out of my range, and so I can't hit him. And in some really long corridors, when you're doing legendary, or if you're in legendary capital,
Agent requesting backup.
guys are going to range you, and you can't get to them with your jammer. You have to wait for the radio car or the drone to get kind of close. Then you can hit them with your jammer. Now you got to worry about timing things out between the blinder and the pulse. Okay. In solo mode, it's very helpful to take out the chungas, to use your skills, and you'll see at the end I'm going to use a drone because we're outdoors, and so the jammer pulse isn't all that great because you get ranged and you have to move, etc. And so over here I've made a mistake in that I've taken aggro from my turret because I'm using my pistol. Yeah, there was actually some time limited challenge with my to kill guys with my pistol. And so you can see me earning my extra whole 250 credits. Yeah, there's no reason for me to use my pistol. But in any case, yeah, to take care of the chunga, just throw out the turret. And, oh, guess what? The vial mask plus jammer pulse took out all of the VATs. We're going to have another chunga here, and I'm going to be using my Scorpio on him. It's just... yeah, typically on a skill build, you get some heavies out, you get some rushers, you can't survive. This particular build, you can kind of survive. And yeah, I don't even know why I'm trying to hit them in the head, because my perpetuation, you can see, is down. It's grayed out. And yeah, and so you can see why Everlasting Gaze is kind of a min-max thing with your cooldowns. But the reality is, it's really hard to hit guys in the head, especially from distance, which in Legendary, you are going to be from distance. So if you want to pop your head out and try to hit guys in the head, be my guest. It's just easier just to have your assault rifle just kind of over your head and just try to hit somebody for that extra bit of damage. You're going to be number 2 or 3 in the damage charts. In Legendary, maybe you can get up to about 1 billion. Typically, you're in the 300 millions or so. And that's fine. That's not your job. Your job is to blind these guys so that, look at him. He's blinded, and he's not able to really advance on me, which is going to be the same that happens with your group, because you are basically going to be their shield by keeping these guys blinded. And we saw in the shooting range how even without tag team, you're with this much haste on this build, your blinder is going to be up pretty much all of the time, minus 2 to 4 seconds. Yeah, and so this is your typical pose. It's just kind of hiding from stuff. And yeah, these guys are kind of ranged from my jammer pulse, and so I'm going to have to close on them. So yeah, you're going to have to make some decisions on kind of that last piece. I've got armor regen on it. You can certainly go with Hannah U and get the extra haste and the extra skill tier, and you can whip out your pistol, and then you can be a skill tier 6. And you can get some range. That's certainly an option. It's just totally dependent on which which mission you're playing. So over here, I'm just going to rush these guys, and the good thing about the jammer pulse is it goes through walls. If you're in a legendary capital, sometimes you are hiding kind of underneath before you get to the stairwell up. You can hide under there, and you're kind of underneath guys, and you can just hit them with the jammer pulse, and you can jam to your heart's content. So over here, like we're outside, we're going to take care of the boss. You can see that I don't have the jammer pulse up. I've got. I'm just going to use my blinder and use the drone. With tech, it's a tier 5 drone, and he's going to do quite a bit of damage. And you've got a lot of haste, so don't be afraid to, especially in legendary content, if you don't need that jammer pulse, go ahead and throw the turret up. It's going to be a tier 5 turret. You whip out your pistol. It's a tier 6 turret, and that thing is going to chew things up. You do that with your blinder, and it's great. If you want to use your drone, you can, because you got a lot of haste, so you're going to get your drone back in just about 15 to 16 seconds. So yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, why am I trading shots with these guys? I don't. It's just something to do. Let's see, where's the boss? Where's the boss? Again, this is the main problem with the jammers. You have to see them to be able to throw that thing. Yeah, see that guy, I don't know where he came from. Oh, here's the boss. And we haven't seen the saw blade. Yeah, tech specialization weapon on a named boss is only going to do half of what it does on anybody else. So I'm just wasting my time just firing my mini missile at this girl. And I am getting hit, and maybe it would help if I threw my drone back out there. Oh no, my drone was out there, now it's on cooldown. But you can see that cooldown is super fast because you're haste built. And so one of the other things you can do is, if you really, really had to, not recommended, you can do CC, and you can be the off healer with a chem launcher. Use the chem launcher because your haste is really good. It's not going to be the best heals, but if you're in a really bad group, you can do it.
This is way too personal.
And we're just gonna. Do I really need the blinder to take these guys out? No, because the tier 5 drone is just gonna wipe this last guy out. And if I remember, I'm gonna whip out my card, get the extra skill tier. I think I do that at the end. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, so there you go. So you can practice this build, the blinder jammer pulse, in heroic. Use perfectly wicked. If you want, use spotter on a tech build, and they'll give you some additional gun damage. It's taking me 50% longer than it should, but you can do it. Yeah, damage taken, not too bad, 5 million. You can look and you can see skill damage is like, what, 210? Team damage is 405, so I'm doing half the damage with my gun. And look at all those headshots. Yeah, headshots is 35, so even though I'm using the assault rifle to try to hit guys in the head, I'm not hitting all that many guys. Look at the enemies blinded, 81, and I killed 72. So I blinded a couple guys twice. You can see the crit damage is not all that great, but it doesn't have to be. It's a skill build. So that's pretty much it for the blinder jammer pulse.